My name is Luis Espinosa, and I'm the Director for the Office of Evangelization and Catechesis. I want to take time now just to look at number 75 and number 76 of the general instruction, but focusing also a little bit on the words that are said within the context of the preparation of the gifts. And so, knowing that in normal circumstances, the altar would be prepared, the hymn would be sung, and that same offertory hymn would lead us to and through when the priest prepares the bread and wine. But what happens if there is no hymn accompanying that action, that movement within the liturgy, in this case during the preparation of the gifts? So we read 75 in the following. The bread and wine are placed on the altar by the priest to the accompaniment of the prescribed formulas. The priest may incense the gifts placed on the altar and then incense the cross and altar itself, so as to signify the church's offering and prayer rising like incense in the sight of God. Next, the priest, because of his sacred ministry, and the people, by reason of their baptismal dignity, may be incensed by the deacon or by another minister. So I want to take a few minutes just to talk about those words, that formula that the priest says as he places the bread, as he places the chalice or the wine on the altar. And so from the order of Mass, from Numbers 23 and 25, we see here that it has that same beginning phrase in both parts for when the bread is prepared and the wine is prepared. So again, the order of Mass, Numbers 23 and 25, begins with the words, "Blessed are you, Lord God of all creation." And so this prescribed formula, this prayer that is said by the priest as he prepares the bread to be placed, as he prepares the wine to be placed, reminds us and should make us think about what this whole celebration is about. One of the other names for the Holy Mass, or for Mass, is Thanksgiving, because it is our response to God's generosity of how good God has been with us. So that's why in these phrases and these formulas, we hear the words, "Blessed are you, Lord God of all creation." So our response is, "Blessed be God forever." So if there is no hymn, the priest says these prescribed words, says the words, places the bread on the altar, says the prescribed words, places a chalice on the altar, and we respond, "Blessed be God forever." So then we have here in number 75, again, about the incensation that is done. It would be a good practice, if we don't have it already, that at least on Sundays and solemnities that we use incense, especially when we talk about the preparation of the gifts. And so this is where 75 talks about that incensation that takes place, where the thurifer brings the thurible or the censer to the priest, so that the priest may charge it and make the sign of the cross and bless the incense that he will use then to incense the gifts, incense the crucifix, incense the altar, and then either the deacon or the server incenses the priest celebrant, and then the people. Again, looking back at number 75, that gives us those two phrases, that the priest is incensed because of his sacred ministry, and then the people are incensed by reason of our baptismal dignity. So then it brings us to number 76. Number 76 that reminds us that after the incensation has taken place, the priest washes his hands at the side of the altar. And it says, a rite in which the desire for interior purification finds expression. It used to be that the priest would wash his hands because he would collect or he would touch all these different things that were brought to him. And at this moment, it takes on more a symbolic, more a ritual aspect in which, again, the idea of interior purification. And so these are the words that the priest says as he's washing his hands. Again, we take these words from the order of Mass, number 28, again, found in the order of Mass. The priest says as he washes his hands, "Wash me, O Lord, from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin." So these words that are from the order of Mass, these words that are said quietly by the priest, and that we get to see the action, the ritual action take place, that he will wash his hands before he gets ready to begin with the next part of the liturgy, and it would be taking us into the prayer after the prayer over the offering, over the gifts. And so the preparation of gifts, again, this moment and place is for us to realize and recognize what is this action, what is the priest doing as he prepares these gifts, and what is our response, because it is us who we are being asked to offer ourselves to. And so in number 26 of the order of Mass tells us about how we offer ourselves. So the priest says also quietly, with humble spirit and contrite heart, may we be accepted by you, O Lord, and may our sacrifice in your sight this day be pleasing to you, Lord God. So again, that prayer that the priest says quietly, secretly, he says, may we be accepted by you. So that is showing and telling everyone that we are offering ourselves as the bread and the wine are being offered at the altar.